Good morning, beauties. I'm out in front of my mammogram. I'm gonna go in for my follow-up mammogram. I'm feeling pretty good. I went to bed last night. Thank God for the count. I went down at like 8 o'clock and was like, I was anxious yesterday. I was supposed to do, for work, I do batch for clients, and then for myself, I do batch filming, and I couldn't do my job. So I took a little yesterday. I was supposed to work a ton and I didn't. And I went to bed really early. I just was anxious for today. And I know so many of you have been so gracious and kind and have been like, there's so many false positives. Overwhelmingly, it's stressful to be in it, but it's most of the time it's false positive. So thank you, by the way. Walking through this process, I am leaning into my faith and leaning into that and trusting into that, and not in my own understanding, and trusting in science. And thank God for good medical care. I went to Northern Virginia. I live in rural Virginia. And so I went to Northern Virginia, which is one of the best, they have the best medical care in the country, some of the best medical care in the country here in Northern Virginia. So I feel very confident in the care in which I'm getting. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to go get my follow-up, the next level. It's like Mario. I'm on my next level. So I'm going to go do that. And hopefully I'll find out my results in a couple of days. I wish I could find out today, but we're going to go in now. Oh, hey, I just got out. The doctor just came in. Thank God for pre-screening. Bottom line, it's the best possible outcome to have. I didn't have to do a biopsy. I have to come back in 6 months. Great news. There's some cysts. There's some abnormalities with them, but they're not overly concerned. And I am so grateful, because I know if there was an inkling of concern, I would be having a biopsy or something else. And so the ultrasound, they have the imaging now. Testing and prevention save lives. So if you have not done your mammogram, or if your partner, for gentlemen, whatever their equivalent is, and also colonoscopies and everything for pre-screening, it saves lives. Schedule your mammogram, schedule these other appointments if you've been waiting like I did. Literally, it was because of yours. Literally, I'm so grateful, because I was like, hold me accountable. And it's been for the last 6 months plus that I was like, I need to do a mammogram. I need to do a mammogram. I'm 43 and I hadn't had my mammogram yet at all. And we have a family history of cancer. And so there was no excuse, really. I mean, it was just scheduling, but so grateful. We'll be back in 6 months. Best possible outcome, just a few cysts. It's great news. And if it was something more serious, I know that they would do like a biopsy or next steps, and I don't have to have that. So that, big sigh of relief. Big sigh of relief. I am so grateful. I'm going to go ahead now and see Kava as like my reward. Kava doesn't open up until 10:30, and it's 9:20 right now. So I'm like, should I stay here? I'm in Northern Virginia. Should I stay here or drive home? I got a ton of work I got to do, because I didn't do it yesterday because I was so anxious. And so I'm like, do I rush home and just forgo Kava? But I really want the Kava. Maybe I'll have my husband take me out for dinner tonight. No, we can't. But I'm grateful. Bottom line, grateful. That's why pre-screening saves lives. I mean, it really does. And so literally with my Zepbound weight loss, I probably would have prolonged getting this testing done. But there has been this big shift about my health, doing the next health choice, the next loving choice, and the next healthful choice. And that's doing pre-screenings. And so it was not bad. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it was. And it's not that bad. Literally, having a baby, way worse in terms of like testing that they do for that versus this. This was not bad at all. So, and the place that I went to, I'm in Northern Virginia, was so professional. It was like a spa atmosphere. They had nice calming music. Like, it was just very relaxing. So super grateful, super grateful. I'm going to go home. I think I'm going to go home. I'm going to go, I already talked to I texted my husband, and kind of get on with the next thing here. But a deep sigh of gratitude. Many of you, many of you have talked about how you've had to go back and how that's scary. And many of you also told me that you are having breast cancer currently, or are breast cancer survivors and that have made it through breast cancer treatment. And so I want to say thank you so much for sharing all of your stories with me. I have been, it literally brings me to tears, so touched by the number of people who sent me stories, who were praying for me, and who just simply shared their experience, strength, and hope with me. And I really appreciate that. That meant the world to me, that people would be so vulnerable to share their experience, to help me. like, thank you so much. It meant the world. And it meant the world too, seeing like hundreds of comments of people being like, oh, I had a false positive. Oh, I had a false positive. And how common false positives are for mammograms. Whew. That also, it's one thing to read about that, but then it's another to have a ton, like 1,000, I mean, not 1,000, hundreds, plural, of comments of people saying that they've had false positives too. So, I'm really grateful. I'm really, really grateful. I feel like, okay, earlier I was talking about, and you'll see in another video, but I was talking about not wanting to work out today. I'm like, no, I actually do need to work out today. I do need to do the next healthful choice. I do need to go, like, take care of myself. And so what does that look like? But I'm praying for you guys today. I'm cheering for you guys today. And I'm going to go figure out what I'm going to go have for lunch. Wait, it's the next day after getting my amazing mammogram diagnosis, and I wanted to talk a little bit more about health action tips after my mammogram that have changed for me. I feel like I got a new lease on life. Like, literally, my husband came home and gave me, sorry, it's raining and my hair got all messed up. I'm like, it's distracting me. Focus, Elizabeth, focus. I came home and my husband gave me a big hug, and I just felt this weight like fall off of me, literally. Like, I'm going to really focus in on it, and I'm going to get to my 100-pound weight loss. And so I've been walking at least 2 miles every day. I've gotten Saturday, I'm going to be walking 6 miles, and I really, really need to stay focused in on getting back into Pilates and weight training. Huge, 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 huge for me. There is an Instagrammer, I'm forgetting her name. She just had twin babies, but she is a weight trainer and super motivational because she's super buff. But she does it in a healthy way. Like, she talks about eating protein in like a way that I really appreciate, that is protein focused, and what she's eating and what she's doing. And she's doing this as a mom to twins and to other children. And it's so impressive to me. And it really, I was like, if she can do it, I can do it. I can get back into like figuring this out. And I think that that's one of my biggest things. I'm sitting here at my car pickup line. And so I've got some tips for you. So this was tip number 1 for me, is I'm making in my little workbook, which, by the way, I'm obsessed with these notebooks on Amazon. They're supposed to be designer sketch notebooks. I'll link them down in the description link below. But I use them for work, and I like them because they have like thick pages in them, so I can really, and sometimes if you see me holding up like graphs and stuff, it's from this book. Anyways, I was mapping out this week when I'm going to do what, because if I don't have a plan to go lifting, I'm not going to. And making a new habit like that, it takes 21 days to make a new habit, per Stephen Covey. And so, or if I believe he's the source attribute on that. And so for me, really, really getting focused in on when am I going to lift. 2, I've been in the car a bunch I've been like volunteering at my kid's school and just doing a bunch of stuff. Having protein available that's rapid. If you guys didn't see in my private Facebook group, I posted about a taco wrap recipe. It was 35 grams of protein, 390 calories, easy meals like that. Okay, the kids are getting dismissed at school, so I may stop this video for the 5 millionth time. Number 2, getting the protein in. And so 1 is the clear protein drinks. The Blue Raz is my favorite. I'll link that down in the description link below. It's easy in the car. It tastes like Nerds to me. If you like the Nerds candy or like snow cones, it tastes like that to me. And it's 20 grams of protein, only 90 calories. And so I have found I have to supplement with that more easily. And I had my Profi is also here in the car. So I was leaving my house. My husband's like, I was bringing all this stuff to my kids' school to donate. And so I had this, plus he saw me making my Profi. He's like, that's a lot of protein. I'm like, I know, I'm behind on my protein goals for the day. So that's number 3, is tracking my protein. A tracked number grows. And if I have no barometer as to how many grams of protein and how many calories I'm having in a given day, how can I possibly be focused in on my weight loss and my Zepbound weight loss, TIRZEPATIDE weight loss? And so that's one thing I want to encourage you, is track for a couple of days. If it's triggering, and which for me it was, literally talk to my therapist about it. And now I'm not triggered doing it. And it's been really helpful to have an accurate view of like, okay, how much really is a portion size? Like those taco wraps, so good, but I had no idea like how much calories that would be until I added it up, and I was like, okay, it's 390 calories and 35 grams of protein. So tip number 3, track your stuff. Tip number 4 is finding proteins you like. One of them is Profi's. I really like them. It's protein coffee, but it's really not coffee. I put in there decaf espressos. I use an espresso machine. Or I'm going to start doing decaf cold brew. Many of you guys have heard me talk about Cooper's Cast Iron Coffee. I love their coffee. They have a cold brew that I'm going to be testing. So Their other coffees have my seal of approval. The cold brew, I haven't done it in a while. So anyways, more on information on that later. But that can go in these like protein shakes, or I use Clean Simple Eats protein, or Bioptimizer's protein breakthrough. I'll link those in the description link below with a discount code. And so that's number 4, is how can you squeeze in extra protein, is what I tell myself. And again, take or leave my advice. Like, this is what's working well for me. Certainly not medical advice, like my experience, strength, and hope, to help jazz me and keep me motivated. And I think that that is that's tip number, what are we on? Tip number 5 is, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay focused? And for me, that's been really, really important on the last 21 months, that like, this takes a hot second. Okay, my kid's class just got released, so I'm gonna finish this in a little bit. Okay, it's now the night of, my kid's playing the guitar and the laundry's going, but I wanted to finish this video. We're doing the best we can, people, doing the best we can. But I wanted to encourage you, what can you do today to move the needle? And for me today, it was focusing on protein. I walked 2 miles, and I'm really tired right now. I'm gonna go to bed. Early. It's not even early. It's not early. It's time to go to bed. I'm gonna do the next loving choice, which is take my magnesium, my Bioptimizer's magnesium, and go to bed. It's been a long day. It's been a long week, honestly. Like, if you go through something emotional like this, for me, I'm really tired from it. And so many people DM'd me, and I'm so grateful. And I felt horribly. I couldn't get back to everybody. But literally, it was so exhausted from the emotional top spinning. Like, I was tighter than a top. What does Blanche Devereaux say? I was tighter than a top. And so coming down from that, it's exhausting. I'm exhausted. So please forgive me. I know so many people like DM'd me, and it was so kind and loving. And I was like, oh, I love you guys so much. You guys make my heart go pitter patter. And it's not that I didn't want to email and DM everyone back. I just literally cannot right now. It's between that or me not sleeping and me sleeping. Like, I'm like, my eyes are closing. But I wanted to tell you of what your focus is today for your health. What is the next loving choice for you, for your health? What are you doing today for preventative? You know what I mean? Like, mammograms save lives because they're preventative. Colonoscopies save lives because they're preventative. So taking care of ourselves also falls in that bucket too. So I am cheering you on so much. You guys mean the world to me. Like, literally, I am so grateful for you, and I'm so grateful for our free encouragement group too, which is down in the description link below. Countessofshopping.com got 2 new articles today as well. One was on Zepbound snacks. It's countessofshopping.com. Zepbound snacks was one article, and then the other one was, y'all, I'm so tired, I don't even remember. I don't even remember what I wrote. But that is getting updated. There'll be daily articles added on countessofshopping.com too. Your free resource for all things GLP-1. And that website has been around we're coming near our 2-year anniversary here, which is exciting. Okay, my friends, I'm gonna go to bed now. I love you guys so super much. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings because life is delicious. Our emoji of the day is going to be sleeping. That's our emoji of the day. And then that helps if you're new. You're like, why are you doing an emoji? Emoji helps me to get to know you better. And also I will pray over you and uplift you. If you don't believe in prayer, I'll uplift you in positive thoughts. And our emoji of the day helps me to have your pattern recognition of your name. And your accountability question is, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goal? Cheering you on. Love you guys.